MVP's contracts are set to expire.
Not Big Bobby. Not Big Bob. He will be missed, man. Bobby Lashley is a living legend out here, man. Put some respect on that name, man.
At first, it was truly shocking to see that WWE was not interested in bringing back Bobby Lashley. However, a new report from PW Insider did come out saying this. WWE made Bobby Lashley a contract offer, but it wasn't one that immediately made him jump to sign.
They did not try to give that nigga the bag. That's unfortunate, man. I dropped the bag on Bobby Lashley. That's a main eventer.
He has strongly considered seeing what he would be worth out on the market.
And they probably gonna drop a bag on that nigga or something. Nah, this nigga in New Japan would be lethal. Let me stop. Big Bob in New Japan? That's a lot of sweat. That's a lot of meat.
WWE has been really using him too much. The company wouldn't want to offer him so much money if he's barely being used on the card. And for that, I honestly gotta blame Triple H.
It's pretty continuous, man. I'm not gonna lie. This nigga has not been used that good at all in a minute. It's 2024. He was champ at some point, but nigga, it's 2024. I haven't seen him or the Street Profits do anything.
In a very short U.S. title reign in the year of 2022, nothing has been going on in his WWE career. Bobby Lashley was not booked for WrestleMania 39. However, it is fair to note that his match was supposed to be with Bray Wyatt, and that obviously was canceled because of Bray Wyatt's health at the time. But to not pivot for Bobby Lashley and just to have him win the Battle Royal on SmackDown and then come out with it for a few minutes at WrestleMania 39 was...
That's a big ass trophy. That trophy is huge, man. Jesus. That's the Andre the Giant trophy for sure.
Not a great move. It then looked like WWE had good plans for him when he
that nigga Montez Ford, what a guy.
Formed his new group. A lot of us thought that it was going to be like the Hurt Business 2.0, but they completely flopped, and I completely blame Hunter in that as well.
These three niggas ain't doing shit, man. It's sad, bro. Unlimited potential with these three niggas, but they just out here fighting Karrion Kross and that.
Pushing his group into a feud with Karrion Kross was a terrible idea. The story also went on way too long. The craziest thing is that Bobby Lashley was still getting great reactions despite having some poor booking. So yeah,
damn, who is that? Ain't no way that's B-Fab looking like that, man. Let me stop.
WWE did not capitalize.
Nah, that's crazy. What?
On the star power that Bobby Lashley does have. And to never give the Hurt Business a chance is a shame.
This is the most terrifying nigga with glasses I've ever seen.
That WWE did not want to bring back MVP either because he's barely been on TV.
His neck got biceps, man. Come on.
There had been some talk about potentially using MVP as a producer or an announcer, but nothing ever really came about in either role, although it was said that there was some sort of tryouts at some point. It sucks to hear that he didn't get the job as a producer. Not everyone is fit for every role or position. This does suck for Bobby and MVP. But with that said, there was one more thing that PW Insider included in their report, and it said this. Internally, WWE expects Bobby Lashley and MVP to depart when their contracts expire, but one source pointed out that until those contracts expire, nothing is official and cautioned this is the WWE. There's always a chance that something could change.
I doubt it, man. MVP stands on business religiously. You can just ask Chris Jericho. MVP really stands on business, but I could definitely see these niggas in New Japan. Bobby Lashley with MVP as a manager in New Japan? I might just watch the product, but I ain't watching the product right now. But that would be fire, no cap.
Like they said, never say never. Anything can happen in WWE. I'm hoping that Triple H notices the buzz around Bobby after hearing this news and decides to actually use him. They should change their mind. I really think he offers a lot, and it wouldn't be wise to let him just walk away. I think it would be even worse to let him walk to AEW to reform the Hurt Business, because that's what the Wrestling Observer Radio is reporting.
Might hurt Chris Jericho for real.
They said this. The WWE is under the assumption that Bobby Lashley and MVP are gone and that they are going to try to revamp the Hurt Business. I don't know if they'll use the same name or not. I guess it depends on the ownership of that name. They want to get Shelton Benjamin, who's also a free agent, and revamp the group in AEW. Whether this happens or not, it depends on Tony Khan, but it's definitely something that is under consideration. I don't think it's a done deal or anything like that, but it's something that is alive. But as of right now, Bobby Lashley and MVP
We still relying on Big Dave. That's sad.
are both going to be gone from WWE when their contract expires, which is relatively soon. Things can get really interesting if Tony Khan can sign Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and MVP. We know the group worked well in 2020. We know there's a great desire to see it happen again. A lot of people want to see it. We also know that each member in that group also wants to reform, and they've wanted to for a long time
Black excellence right here. Nothing else to say.
now. I think this would work well for AEW. It's worth the risk in my opinion. The worst case scenario is that you'll have Bobby Lashley, who can be a great star in the main event scene or the mid card. If it doesn't happen, I expect Bobby Lashley to return to TNA. Let's see how this story unfolds.
Headband Bobby is a demon, man. TNA Bobby? Nah, that nigga dangerous, bro. There's no way they fumbled this nigga.
Very odd how so many people are leaving WWE. We had
Yeah. Let me stop.
Sasha Banks, who walked and never came back. I thought she was going to be a WWE for life. Speaking of WWE for lifers, Edge decided to not
The GOAT.
re-sign with them, and then he joined.
One of the hardest theme songs of all time, man. Hold on.
And O'Brien also jumped ships
Another GOAT. A walking bucket in wrestling terms.
and is now Bryan Danielson. And more recently, Ricochet is expected to join AEW any minute now.
This nigga Trevor.
Bobby Lashley and MVP are two of the most recent names to have their contracts set to expire.
Becky's just trying to be a mom at this point. She really cooling. Hey. Becky enjoying this vacation, whatever she finna do. It's about to be NFL season, so I mean, she got to get ready for Seth Rollins raging at the Bears, just taking L after L.
He's very weird because he's so focused on his long-term plans that it leaves out a lot of people with no immediate direction, and it can take very long to get an important role in WWE nowadays. In some cases, you could end up like Bobby, who had a terrible feud that took months to finish. Triple H's WWE definitely has its pros, but it also has its cons. Liv Morgan is someone who's experiencing all the pros in the Triple H era.
No comment.
She's in one of the hottest storylines in all of WWE. Along with that, she's also the Women's World Heavyweight Champion and amazing. I grew up a huge fan, but I never thought that someone I'd idolize would one day be my boss.
W Flex. Nah, for real. I'm trying to be like her one day.
And I'd be under his guidance and tutelage. He's so helpful with any questions that I have or anything I'm thinking. He's always open to listen and help me out. I couldn't be more grateful for that. I walk into work so excited every single week to see what kind of shenanigans we're going to get into. It's a very happy, open, and creative.
And the Hurt Business walks into work like, yep, I gotta fight Karrion Kross again, man. Sucks to suck.
Atmosphere. This is exactly what I'm.
I ain't even mean to pause it right here, but Shawty about to get thwacked.
Exactly what I meant when I said there's some
I love pausing.
people who benefit greatly from Triple H taking over creative, while there's others like Bobby Lashley who sadly just don't. It's good to see Morgan in a spot where she can finally shine. I think she deserves this moment.
Like when Shawty look like Chris Motionless.
I think she's earned it. Psycho Sid also believes that Triple H can help him out as well.
What? Well, what? What am I watching? Psycho Sid?
This is what he said about wanting a role in the WWE, as well as his desire to be in the Hall of Fame, which he had for a long time now. You'd think that they would offer
Nah, this nigga would be a lethal enforcer, I'm not gonna lie.
for that. Again, Vince McMahon didn't like me so much. I think that's why they haven't offered me that, but with Vince being gone now, you'd think that those people would say, hey, this guy, we still got him on contract, he's still making a little bit of money. It would help him if we did that.
Something, a nigga looks psychotic. Oh, I mean, never mind. That's the point.
He was in the business for over a decade, so he definitely has experience and a mind for this great sport. The longest reigning U.S. champion.
What a disservice to the belt, man. What a disservice to life. You know, I fuck with Logan Paul a little bit. Yeah, in the ring. In the ring, he's pretty cool. But this nigga's barely in the ring, so I barely fuck with him.
It sucks that two of the three longest reigning U.S. champions in WWE history have been such a disappointment.
MVP best U.S. champ of all time.
That title deserves a lot more respect. I don't even think WWE should ever give Logan Paul another title unless he's full-time or at least a part-timer who defends it every 6 weeks, because this is getting out of hand. And finally, here is Cody.
Man, look at that tattoo, man. That's my cold take, man. Look at that tattoo. That's every time I see that too, man. Every time I see it, every time I see the tattoo, man, it's just something about it.
Rhodes talking about how every wrestler's goal should be to become a world champion.
That's my goal, brother. I'm trying.
This is gonna be one of those, like, this is gonna sound mean, and it's okay if people take it as mean. When I was at AEW, a lot of talent would tell me, you know, I'm not interested in being world champion.
Losers, man. That's a loser mentality. Who said that? They're not winners. Obviously not. I mean, you probably wanted to be world champ, but you just had to have that storyline, huh? Where you just couldn't win the big one. I remember, buddy. I remember. I like Cody Rhodes, by the way. This is just satire, a little bit of trolling. He probably about to cook right here.
I'd just say something polite, move on. In my mind, I wanted to be like, get the F out. You
Exactly. What are you doing here, loser?
are useless. I sound
Called them niggas useless.
wanted to be like, get the F out. You are useless. That sounds so mean, but like, this is a competitive industry. Maybe not competitive in the ways you see it. Maybe it's not the physical competition that it's presented as. Maybe there's other areas, but you should want the most. At least that's how my mindset is.
No one goes to the Olympics and goes, I'd be okay with a bronze.
Yes.
Nah, facts, bro. Losers.
So like, I'm here, I'm good. You go, you play the game. I was that famous with Herm Edwards, where you play the game to win, you know, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And just, I think I had, to a degree, gotten beaten down or beaten myself down to where I started to say things like, well, it's great money. Well, it's this and that. And that's just, you know, something's wrong when you start talking to yourself that way.
Everybody got a story they got to finish. I'm going to keep it a buck. Everybody got a story they got to finish. You just got to let it take the course, you know? Hop on the ride, and you're going to get there eventually, Cody. I think he'll agree. I think from a retrospect, I'm just talking about in life. But definitely in wrestling, I mean, it's wrestling.
Pivots and deviates, I totally understand that. But when it's self-deprecation, when you start to not be your biggest supporter, that's where you get in trouble.
I find it funny that he says that when he booked himself into never competing for the
That's what I'm talking about, man. What did he sign off on that? He probably knew he was leaving. He probably knew he was like, yeah, I'm about to manifest this whole WB return, man. He probably was not thinking about AEW. And can you really blame him? Nah, because look at the result. Look at the result.
AEW World Title. Regardless of that, though, I disagree with him. Not
Oh, okay, Polana. Okay, he disagrees.
everyone is made for the World Championship scene.
True. But I just feel like if you came up with the dream, you know. So I mean, I get it. You can hop into a sport, play the sport just for money. It's the same thing with wrestling. You could hop into the WWE, not be the biggest WWE or wrestling homer. You just do it for the bag, do it for your financial situation. But deep down, you gotta at least win a championship. You know, you gotta at least want something major out of this, right?
Can contribute in many other ways. Santino Marella is a perfect example. He's someone who knew his role and will be remembered way more
I bet when he signed, he was probably like, yo, I want to be a champ, though. I want to be a world champ.
than someone like Jack Swagger.
I know Jack Swagger, too. I know Jack Swagger. Hey, that nigga won the title. That nigga was champ. I know he signed, and he won the ECW title, too. I know he was like, nah, I got to win some things.
Who won the World Championship a couple of times. I think this is a bad hot take from Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
I completely disagree, but I love the video. Polana is always GOAT, and I appreciate the content. I appreciate I get to add my little 3 cents, you know. I'm gonna have to react to more of his shit.
She claims she has 400 plus bodies.